The camera opens on a dimly lit garage, a single spotlight shining across the long, sculpted silhouette of a car that looks familiar yet unmistakably new. The narrator steps forward. If you grew up in the 90s, or if you have even the faintest appreciation for American performance sedans, then you know this name carries weight. This is the rebirth of a legend. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're diving deep into the all-new 2026 Chevrolet Impala SS. Chevy's bold attempt to revive an icon and prove that full-size performance sedans still have a place in a world drowning in SUVs. The camera slowly pans around the car, revealing crisp body lines that merge modern design with nostalgic cues. The first thing that hits you is how different yet familiar it feels. The long hood, the wide stance, the subtle aggression in the front facade. Chevy didn't try to make this a retro caricature. Instead, they built a modern flagship that whispers its heritage rather than shouts it. The front end carries a low-slung grille, framed with narrow LED headlamps that give the car a kind of quiet menace. It doesn't scream, it stares. As the shot shifts to the side profile, the narrator continues. You'll notice something that's been missing in the sedan world for years: proportion. This is a big car, but not bloated. The designers gave it a fastback-like roofline that slips into a short rear deck, and the shoulder line stretching from headlight to taillight gives the car a sense of motion even when it's standing still. And yes, those wheels, 20-inch forged alloys wrapped in performance rubber, filling out the wheel wells with authority. The camera glides to the back of the car. And here's where the nostalgia hits a little harder. Quad exhaust tips, subtle SS badging, a clean, wide taillight bar that spans the rear without looking like a gimmick. Chevy could have overdone it, but they kept it classy. More importantly, the stance. This Impala sits low. It looks planted. It looks ready. The narrator opens the driver's door. But let's step inside, because this is where the rebirth becomes even more interesting. Gone are the days when large American sedans were criticized for bland interiors. The 2026 Impala SS feels premium. Not luxury for luxury's sake. Premium in the sense of thoughtful materials, restrained design, and the kind of cockpit layout that reminds you this is a driver's car first. You get a wraparound dashboard with a 14-inch curved digital display, customizable gauge clusters, and an infotainment system that's finally fast, intuitive, and clean. The camera moves across the seats and center console. These seats are SS-specific bolstered sport thrones, trimmed in a mix of leather and suede-like microfiber. They're supportive without being punishing, comfortable without being lazy. There's contrast stitching, subtle red accents, Not the overly bright red that's been forced into sporty interiors for years, but a deep, almost metallic red that looks expensive, not cheap. The narrator taps the start button. The engine rumbles to life. And now, the part Impala fans have been waiting for. What's under the hood? Yes, Chevy could have played it safe and dropped in something modest. But no, they went bold. The 2026 Impala SS comes equipped with a twin-turbocharged 3.0-liter V6 pushing out a staggering 435 horsepower and 457 pound-feet of torque. Now before the V8 purists storm the gates, hear me out. This engine is a monster. It revs fast, it pulls hard, and with the new variable geometry turbos, there's almost no lag. You get instant response at low RPMs, and a wall of torque that doesn't taper off until deep into the power band. Cut to a driving shot through winding mountain roads. Pair that with an advanced 10-speed automatic and available paddle shifters, and you get a sedan that feels alive in your hands. Chevy also stiffened the chassis, added adaptive magnetic ride control, and widened the track. The result: this is the most athletic Impala ever produced. And I'm not just talking straight-line speed. The steering is precise and weighted. The suspension adapts instantly to road conditions, and body roll is nearly non-existent when you throw it into a corner. The narrator smiles. And yes, it does the straight-line thing, too. 0 to 60 in around 4.5 seconds. Quarter mile in the low 13s. This isn't just a big sedan that happens to be fast. It's a proper performance car wrapped in a spacious, comfortable package. The camera returns to the road as the narrator continues. Part of what makes this car so impressive is how well it blends performance with everyday usability. You still get seating for 5 adults, a massive trunk, and ride comfort that won't punish you on long trips. The suspension stiffens when you push it, but relaxes when you're cruising. The cabin stays quiet. Chevy used active noise cancellation and better insulation than any previous Impala. And the safety tech is all here. Lane centering, blind spot monitoring, adaptive cruise, collision avoidance, and a new high-resolution surround view parking system. The car enters an urban cityscape, neon reflections gliding across the paint. But what I really appreciate is that Chevy didn't try to turn the Impala SS into some sort of pseudo-luxury competitor. It respects its performance roots. There's a Sport Plus mode that sharpens throttle response, stiffens the suspension, boosts steering weight, and even opens up an active exhaust system that gives you a deep, aggressive growl. It's not obnoxious, but it lets everyone around you know this isn't just another commuter sedan. The narrator stands beside the car as dusk sets in. So why bring back the Impala now? Why take this risk in a market where sedans seem to be disappearing? According to Chevy, it's because there's still a passionate audience for big performance sedans. People who want power without sacrificing space, who want style without the compromises of an SUV. And honestly, they're right. There's something special about sliding behind the wheel of a long, low, comfortable sedan that can outrun cars half its size. The shot cuts to the interior again. Another thing that stands out is the technology suite. The new Impala SS uses Chevrolet's latest software platform, which supports wireless updates, customizable driving profiles, and a clean interface that doesn't bury everything behind touchscreen menus. And yes, you still get physical controls for climate and volume. Thank you, Chevy. Not everything needs to be a touch panel. The narrator leans against the hood. There's also an available performance data recorder for track enthusiasts. You can record lap times, throttle inputs, G-forces, and more, all overlaid onto video captured from the car's built-in HD camera. For a full-size sedan, that's something you typically don't see. The camera pulls back to a wide shot of the car parked under the streetlights. But beyond the numbers, the tech, and the styling, there's something more emotional going on here. The Impala name carries decades of history. It has meant many things to many people. Cruiser, family sedan, muscle icon, sleeper powerhouse. The SS badge especially carries an energy, a promise of performance and attitude. The 2026 Impala SS honors that without pretending it's still the 90s. It evolves the identity into something modern. The narrator walks slowly around the car. And let's be real. Car enthusiasts have been asking for something like this for years. A proper American performance sedan that doesn't cost luxury car money, doesn't weigh as much as a full-size SUV, and gives you the feeling of driving something substantial. Something with presence. The car rolls down the road as the narrator speaks over the driving footage. Is this car perfect? Not necessarily. Some will still wish for a V8 option, even though the twin-turbo V6 outperforms the old naturally aspirated engines. Some will argue the design is too conservative, and others will claim that the performance sedan market is too small to matter. But here's the thing. The 2026 Impala SS isn't about chasing trends. It's about restoring balance, about giving people who love driving something to be excited about again. The narrator returns to the garage where the video began. When you stand in front of this car, you feel something. It's the weight of legacy, the memory of Impala's past. The sound of version 8S that once ruled the streets. But at the same time, you feel the future. You see how far Chevy has come with engineering, design, technology. This is not a nostalgia trip, it's a reboot. The camera zooms in slightly. So who is the 2026 Impala SS for? It's for the driver who still wants that connection to the road. The person who wants to carry friends or family but refuses to settle for a boring ride. The person who wants power, space, comfort, and attitude, wrapped in a shape that feels timeless. It's for the enthusiast who thought big sedans were dead. Because Chevy just proved they're not. The narrator places a hand on the roof of the car. At the end of the day, the 2026 Chevrolet Impala SS isn't just a comeback. It's a statement, a reminder that performance sedans can still matter. A reminder that American automakers can still surprise us. And a reminder that some legends are worth reviving. The lights fade, leaving only the outline of the car. The narrator gives one final line. This is the new Impala SS. Long live the legend.